What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is John with the Foxbody Den. I've got three. I've got my two co-hosts here, and we've got the world famous Kenneth Sean up there, and we got Carl 631 Coatings, Lee CCW Fox. Ken, thanks for joining us, man.
Man, you're too kind with the world famous. I appreciate it. Thank you all for inviting
Oh,
me on
hey, you said world famous. You gotta do the thing after, bro. You gotta do the thing after.
today. So let me give a quick story. Everybody, to be honest with you all, I'm gonna do it. I get asked to do this every time I go to an event, right? And it gets so repetitive. I'm like, even now I get tired of it, but we're gonna do it anyway. Do, 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 do.
That's your brand. That's your brand. That's your brand, Ken. That's what people know you by, man. You
I know,
coined
right?
that.
Like, I can give you a story. We were coming from, I believe, for a takeover one year, and we had an 18 wheeler pass by us, right? But my car was on an open trailer. And when the 18 wheeler drove past, all we heard was dun 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 dun. And I looked at my boy like, hey man, he must have know who we were, bro. Like, so I'll take pride in that.
Holy shit!
Because he literally, if we weren't in his way, we were in the slow lane and everything, and he literally hit with the dun 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 dun, and he exactly what I was like, yo, that was amazing.
Man, a lot of people following you on those YouTubes out there, huh, Ken?
Yeah, I mean, the Instagram page, is cool too as well. Like the car page has the same amount of following as the YouTube, so that all helps. They kind of cross over a little bit. So I've been blessed, man, to be in this thing for a long time and to have the following and the people that appreciate it. Like I get sent messages all the time about, man, you just helped me get back in this thing. So it's a blessing for me, man. I'm glad to be a contributor to this community and I've been in it for a long time now. So it's a blessing for me.
What do you say you get your most interaction from? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook?
It just all depends. Like, so I would say it just all depends. Like, a lot of the car has gone more viral over the last 3 to 4 years than I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since I switched those wheels, man, I've had more viral clips of that car. And that's what kind of opened the door for me as it related to that car. Like, I've been on Mustang Hub with that car, second place in Ponies and the Smokies inside of the convention center. That was like the biggest accomplishment. I actually like wear that trophy around my neck like it's a chain, even though it's like super huge, But so I would say, it just all depends. Like a lot of times when I'm doing other people's cars,
Yeah.
man, those videos always do well, But like when it comes to my own car, Instagram is very well. But interviews with other people, that's like my bread and butter. Like that is the thing I pride myself in. I have the most Foxbody debuts and interviews than anybody else. And you can go through for the last 6, 7 years. Nobody has debuted more Fox bodies than I have. Nobody has more Fox body interviews, and this is no knock to nobody else, but that was the thing that I based my channel off of was my car and interviews, and then I've just kind of expanded it since then. So
Yeah, I got to tell you, when I got back into the Fox Body, community 2 years ago, I popped on YouTube and I just typed in Fox Body, and you were one of the first videos that popped up. All those interviews, all those debuts, and I got to just tell you, man,
yeah,
I probably watched 4 or 5 hours straight of all the different cars, man, and just seeing all the beautiful cars, you inspired me, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So.
man. But that's like I said, John. That's a for me. That's a blessing. I don't take none of this. I don't take none of this for granted. And for me, like I've seen this is, and I want to make this clear. Like I'm saying this from a humble place. I've seen people that I have interviewed that nobody knew, and then I've seen them even take off. Like for like perfect example, these guys right here. Nobody like they were not known. I did John first, and then Tom. John's video got about 10,000 views. Nobody ever saw that car before, and I
Yeah.
literally saw that car walking past it. And then I debuted Tom's car, and then obviously, his car is what it is now, and they are who they are now. But for me, playing a piece of that history as it relates to the Fox body community and all of that, I don't take that for granted or for lightly. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll try to get this thing up like 40 times. Like, man, you all like trying to do this YouTube stuff, try to stay consistent, try to, keep that thing going, and still trying to stay relevant at the same time. And yeah, you can get discouraged,
It is a,
distracted, but
it is a
hey,
bit tiring, right?
Well,
It gets a bit tiring, right? Just having a recording, editing stuff, or doing stuff. You gotta get up, get motivation to go record somebody's car. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's actually the easier part. You know, it's when you don't have the cars. It's when you and then you have to come up with, okay, what are we gonna put out here today? You know, like what, like, because I've been in the space even now. I haven't had my car in almost 5 months. What am I gonna record?
yeah,
Like, if I went to pits and we had, you know, all the cars that I was supposed to have done, they didn't come back the next day. Like, so I did all my interviews on Saturday, and then when we did it on Saturday, it was windy outside and cold. So, you know, stuff like that. You gotta take all that into consideration, man.
well, Mr. Sean, you and I spoke several times in regards to possibly tapping out of the game, because the
Yeah.
car gave you some
Yeah.
ups and downs, more downs than ups.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that the car is moving in the direction I think you want it to be in, we had
Yeah.
spoke about you getting that car up here for me to protect it for you, did we not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
I made that
I,
very clear.
I do not want to see you guys put that car together until after I'm done.
yeah.
At
He's like,
least,
I don't know that's gonna happen, man.
at least the body side moldings and stuff, because that stuff you could double side tape on. It's not a problem. If you don't have to put the quarter glass window in, don't. You know, because what I like to do is how we spoke earlier is we like to catch the material behind the window, so you don't see a perimeter
Yeah.
line. So that will obviously give it a more seamless look because you're going to have a seam by the roof, but if you don't have to have a seam around the quarter glass, we can put those in after the fact, you know? And legitimately
Yeah. So
speaking, even if you want to bring me the car without the quarter windows in, we'll take care of the areas first that we got to put panels back, moldings back.
sure.
Then you can take it back and
Yep.
build it, and then I'll finish it off at a later date. That's fine. But at least those areas that are important that we have to get tucked behind the material, we get that film there
Yeah.
first. Because we want that
Yeah.
black
I
to look
understand that.
shiny and not get jacked up.
I understand that. I think I need well, the main thing. The car's not even a roller anymore. The car's a
Oh,
shell. Yes.
oh, okay.
It's not, like, so I have to put it back together. Like, I don't have, when I say everything is stripped out of that car, there is nothing. So you gotta understand, the underside was redone. Obviously, the whole outside of the car was redone. I mean, if you all have followed anything, my engine
Yeah, I
bay
did.
was atrocious. The engine bay it's the most embarrassing thing that I can actually say to this day that, or as it relates to my car. And I know who's responsible for it, but I'm not going to go there. But the engine bay was absolutely ridiculous. And so, you know, when that got done, now I don't know if, for you all that don't know, I have a flat firewall now, and I have no holes in it. But one of the things is that, like I said, I have no rear end, no front end. You know, I'm going the SLA kit. I know we're gonna get into that, but I have nothing. So the car is literally sitting on four like stands that are rollers that sit on the pinch wheel so that we can roll it around, you know, until we get that stuff back in because I did tub it, but I know we'll get into that. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Carl, and we'll
Okay.
definitely talk about that.
All right.
Yep, that's Carl right there. I mean, he's given that to me and Vinny a couple of times. The right way to PPF the car is to do it the way he said before you put it back together.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
cleanest way.
Listen, don't get me wrong. You can still do a nice job, and get it close to the moldings and the trim, which is not bad. But if you want more of a seamless look before we put the trim on, we wrap it, then slap the moldings over it after it's said and done.
How far are you, Sean, from the shop? A couple hours
A day,
from Carl.
Yeah,
a day,
it'd
A
be a
day.
day. Yeah, a
it'd be a day,
good 15
it'd be a day.
hours.
Where are you? You're in Georgia, correct, Ken? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about 12 hours.
Georgia to Long Island is a trip.
Yeah.
You want to know
That
something
is
funny? I drove my dog down to Georgia to get trained. I had a trainer down there, and it wasn't that bad. I threw the dog in the back of the pickup, and we brought him down to Georgia. He was there for 8 weeks for discipline training. So it wasn't that bad. You gotta have a good co-pilot to talk to on the way down. But
So there you go, Carl. Hop in your truck with your dog. Bring the
Hey,
film
yeah,
and
and go pick it
there
up.
you go, dude.
Go
Make it
pick
easy
it
on.
up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you pick this up. Do not listen to this guy. All right, Carl, Carl, don't even respond, Carl. We'll talk. Okay?
Carl would do it. Carl would do it. He's done stuff like that.
What I would do, obviously, if he brought the car, which I really hope he does, I have plenty of room in my house, so the accommodations are there for you to stay a day or two. I want you to actually get some video footage for yourself.
Oh yeah.
So we'll do a few panels that you can bounce back home, and when the car's ready, it'll probably take about 6 to 7 days, you know, and you can come back up and get it, and she'll be ready to rock and roll.
I can see you going through Sean's head like, oh, dude, now another thing I got to add on to the project.
Listen, this guy drives his car, okay? He drives it, so he's gonna get rock chips regardless, and I'm sure you paid a pretty penny for the paint job, to let alone have it get damaged. So, in retrospect to that, I know you want to put the car back together. I get it. Get it together. I still need about 4 to 6 weeks of cure time before I even touch it.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, speaking of paint, would you say your paint was a little more? Did you figure your price for your paint was gonna be what it is, or did you kind of get an estimate and you're like, wow, this thing costs a little more than it should?
I'll be honest with you. Like the painter this time around was he was very fair. Let's just put it like that. And with the amount of work that he did with that, so you gotta understand, my car has been done before, so it wasn't like the rest of the car. The rest of the car just needed paint. The engine bay was where all the time, and the mini tubs is where all the time was taken. You know, you have to notch the frame, and so financially, yeah, was it steep? Yeah, I mean, y'all know what this is. Like, it's you painting a car unless you taking it to Mako. Like, man, it ain't. I don't know anywhere that you go get a cheap Foxbody paint job and then pull up to a show thinking you got an award-winning vehicle. I'm sorry, like, no, that is not the case. And then I have a different standard than the next person, so that's just me personally. And black is the hardest color to keep clean. So my standard was, hey, I need this thing to be as black as it was before, if not glossier, okay? But then also, I need this bay. I call my engine bay the unholy engine bay, because there is not one hole in that engine bay. There's not one hole anywhere. We took all the holes out and literally remade that thing.
Let me ask you a question. Being that you don't have holes, are you running a different AC system in the car?
Surprise!
Sounds like you might be going electric or something. You going electric?
No. I know what he did.
Actually, yeah, it was this guy. I don't know where he is on the screen, but y'all, somebody else kind of like, told me what I need to do and which company I need to look after. So, yep, it ain't what you think.
Are you pointing at me? You pointing at me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because he was the one. He was the one that told me. He was the one that put me on the company, and I'm like, and I'll be honest with you, like when he told me that was the decision to be like, oh, so it is somebody out here that does this. Hey, we taking this whole firewall one flat. That's it. Like once I knew that, and I'll be honest, I got I'm sponsored by Ride Tech as well, and the day we finalized the sponsorship, the car was in paint and body. I had to call my guy, and I'm like, hey man, those holes for those strut towers, cover them up too. He's like, what? I was like, yeah man, you ain't paint nothing, so it's nothing. So cover those up too. The day, because he was almost done, and I was like, yep, I need you to do this real quick. And he did that as well. And then that was my whole vision. I didn't want to cut the strut towers because I'm going SLA kit. I didn't want to cut them. Nothing wrong with the people that do that. I know a lot of people like it, some people don't. I didn't want to do it. Now we know that this guy over here has fuel tanks in his, fuel tanks in his strut towers, power steering tanks in his strut towers. We know, and I know he's going to get the cap right now that he used for it. But
Carl took it to the next level.
Yeah, his creativity is crazy. Like when I saw that, I was like, dude, your creativity is crazy. I thought I was creative, bro. Your creativity is on a whole different level. Like,
I was wondering too when Red Tech first came out with that kit. I was wondering how come they didn't holler like at you or like Foxcast or like one of the bigger guys to promote it. Because when they brought that kit out, they threw it on another car, and I was like, why? That's like not really a kit for that person. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Caleb came out with it, right?
But let me say something about what Lee just said, and I'm gonna tell you, without messing up my sponsorship, the person that's over it now is different than the person that was over it then, because they
Bob won
even
them,
said
bro.
that was not it, and we just gonna leave it there. We just gonna leave it there. But yes, Caleb was another one too. So they they worked with Caleb, and I don't know to what extent, but they did work with Caleb, and then
Yeah.
they when I presented my build, they worked with me as well. And I'm gonna be honest with you, all the sponsors, like when people saw that Holley got behind me, that's really what really opened the door for me. And I have a long list now of sponsors in a good way, but we'll get into that in a minute. But yes,
So just quickly, because you guys are jumping a little forward. So obviously, this is the 2.0 version of KSD Notch. I know you were telling us before we got on the air. You own this car about 10 years. Everybody knows the first build there with the Terminator swap, and you had mentioned it. I've seen it in videos where you talked about the firewall and the engine bay, how
yep,
it was done. I think you and your friends had done it. I believe if I or someone did it and you weren't happy with the results,
yeah,
the first engine bay. But just to go back quickly, because I think most people know that you're going through this process now, the second full build. But what triggered that? What happened to the first iteration there? That because I know you were I follow you, so I know you were thinking about going. You were putting out content before you blew this motor, and
yeah,
you were Terminator guy for a long time.
yeah,
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 Termy. Oh, no Coyote. And then
yeah,
I started to see the gradual shift in Kenneth Sean's thinking, going to Coyote, right? So,
yeah.
first of all, what happened to the first build, and then what made you go this route? Go ahead, tell us what you're doing, and then what made you go this route. Go ahead. Sorry.
Bosch 210 injectors. I would never say to anybody to get them. So I was riding around with ID 1050s for the longest, right, on E85. And I was told, in order for you to get to this higher number on a horsepower, I was stuck between 728 and 740 for like years. And in order for you to get to the number you were trying to get to, you need to get a bigger injector. And the Bosch 210 injectors were recommended to me. I had those injectors probably on the car for less than a year. And man, so when I did a documentary was done on me in the car last year by this production company. And shout out to my man Cam Williams. They and my man Wade, they came out, filmed my car, and it took a long time. Like we had to like do several different scenes and all that. We had to go through the mountains and all of that. And when you're doing this stuff, a lot of the clips you see me beating up on the car, right? But those are just the clips you see. You don't see how many times it was done. So what ended up happening was those injectors, man. We run an E85 on Bosch 210s, and to be transparent with you, man, number 5 got clogged up, ran lean, and then the rest is history. That motor,
You there was a video, a dyno video of you. I guess it's 2024 at
Yeah,
Caleb,
Caleb's event.
yeah,
Yeah.
Caleb's event. Were you on the ID 1050s there, or had you switched over to the Bosch?
no. So that was the 10. Yeah, I'm sorry. Those were the 1050s that day, and even the guy at the event, because we were like, man, like I cannot get past this number. So he ended up plugging up his computer, and he went through my tune and everything, and he said the same thing. He was like, man, you need some injectors, and he was
All right.
recommending FIC injectors. He was recommending some fuel injector clinic injectors to me. And then when I got back home and talked to the guy that originally tuned the car, he was saying, "Now you can go with the Bosch 210s. They're a little cheaper, etc. But hey, you know what? You get what you pay for."
So that's kind
And I'm
of
like,
the point where you were stuck. As I remember, you were frustrated in that video that you couldn't get beyond that horsepower number, which was
yeah, I
still
think
a
I
badass
listened to
number,
two.
Ken.
Yeah,
700.
don't get me wrong. It's nice, it's fun, but when you have a goal, like for example, I always had an 800 goal, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I got used to that horsepower quickly. I know some people would put their car on a pole with that type of number, but I've been in the street racing scene since I was 16. and I'm 44 now, so it's a little bit different for me as it relates to how to handle a Fox body because that's all I ever messed with as it relates to that. But I will say this: that 740 was cool when I first got it, but then you get used to it, and then it's like it's the addiction. Like I want more. You're like, what do you want more for? Because I want more. Don't even ask me why. Don't even ask me why I want more. And what happened was I was in these '03, '04 Cobra forums, and these guys who got the setup just like mine. Oh man, I'm making 850 on E85. I'm making eight lies. Like
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of
Man,
that's man.
I always rather talk to somebody who's doing it with more horsepower than forums because man, you jump on forums, you get a lot of people who
Man.
they just talking, man.
And so from that, that's what I'm gonna be honest. Like that was, I would say personally, the biggest mistake I've ever made was chasing horsepower. I'll be honest with you, that was the biggest mistake I ever made. And also the second biggest mistake was chasing horsepower on that setup. Let's just be real. The '03, '04 setup is what 22 years old,
Yeah.
and the information. So here's the thing about it. Even when I did the swap, there was nobody for me to go to even get information about how to do a swap and a Fox body. So I had a lot of trial and error and a lot of things that I just did wrong, just because there's unlike the coyote community, it's only a few people out here that can tell you certain things, and I only knew maybe at the time two other guys that did it, and got some information for them, but then I went a little bit more extreme than what they did, so it really was nobody even guiding me for years. I'll tell you all this: I had an AJEK member with that Terminator motor. And for years, man, we had steering shaft issues because of that K member. Man, switched over to a UPR K member, no more steering shaft issues. But then 4 months later, blew the motor up. It is what it is. So it's just so many things I learned. On the left hand side, on the driver's side, I had a long tube header. I think they were Mac long tube headers. Man, and that thing used to scrape the ground all the time, just the driver's side, not the passenger side. No matter how much I would lift the car up, it would always scrape. If I go over a speed bump, I'm nervous every time because it was scraped. That was that Terminator setup. So it was a lot of trial and error with the Terminator, and it was only so far you can go with a stock block. And for me, it costs. But then at the same time, I can say this to you all: I never would have imagined when that happened in August. It happened the first week of August. I never would have imagined that I would be sitting here telling you all the story that I can tell you now. Because realistically, for me to go through another iteration, I would probably be in divorce court. And for you all that's married, like I have guys ask me all the time. They be like, "Hey man, so how much does it cost to do this?" I was like, "You want me to stay married? Don't ask me that question." So,
She listens. She
yeah,
listens.
it's just it is. Like I don't know, and if I don't know, she don't know. So I mean, none of us know. I don't know. Like I'm not counting receipts no more. Now you can, there are people who it's a term we use called pocket watching all the time. So when I put these parts on YouTube, there are people who always like, "Oh man, when you spent this and that," I'm like, whatever you want to think about it. Yeah, sure I did. I mean, I don't even know. Like I'm not even trying to calculate it. But back to the Terminator. I will say this though, that was it was a defining moment for that car for me because I mean, how many Terminator swap Foxbodies were out here? And I actually that was in the first sponsorship I ever got was through Whipple, and this was back in 2020 when they came out with the Gen 530 supercharger. I had a 2.3 Whipple on the car, and nobody was making '03, '04 Cobra content. They needed somebody to display their supercharger. They reached out. They gave it to me for half the price. I sold my 2.3, paid them off, and threw it on there. And the rest was history from there. And like I said, consistent upgrading it, yeah, but it was still a stock block. So that's it. But it initially happened. So here's
Yeah,
what it is.
they kind of take a dive around 800 ish. They're around there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even recommend it. Like I shouldn't even been pushing it at 740. To be honest with you, that's personally like now that I look back at it, because my new thought process is overbuild, overkill. Do not take that motor to the limit. Is what I'm saying. If your motor can handle 1,000 horsepower, you probably shouldn't take it to 1,000.
Yeah.
I have a mentor now, and he's not even in the Fox body community, and he constantly preaches this to me. Like I went through somebody that wasn't in the Fox community that wasn't going to be biased as a mentor because I'm like, yo, this needs to be the last time I do this to this car because when I did this the last time I was in my 30s. Man, I'm in my mid 40s now. I can't go through another build like this again. Personally, like I got too much going on in life, outside of this car stuff, I can't do this again, like personally. So yeah, but that was the fate of the Terminator motor, was a bad injector, clogged up, and then when the guy that I had a guy pressure test all of the injectors
Oh, like
through his
compression test.
man.
What was it, like 100, 90?
Nah,
Flow
man, some
bench?
stuff was it nothing was matching. One was at 68%, another is at 12%. When I tell you, he showed me the video and said, I was like, hey man, I don't keep them injectors. Like he ended up sending them back. I literally got them in a bag in my garage because I can't even sell those to somebody. Like, how do you even say, oh, I'm gonna say they're literally, I'm gonna trash them there because I could rebuild it. Who cares? I'm not putting no more money into those injectors. Those injectors are the death of the Terminator motor that I used to have, but it all worked out, so it's all good.
So it was almost it was it was fitting to see. Well, I shouldn't be using the word fitting because it was a bad thing, but I had started to see, like I said, your content slowly. I mean, if you go back and follow you, like I said, for years you were the Terminator swap guy, and then you start to see that progression towards
Yeah.
the Coyote, and you started to see, and I've seen other people in the community too. If you go back, you listen like, oh, push rod, Terminator, but I saw the slow acceptance to starting
Yeah.
to starting to look at that Coyote platform, and I saw you started
Yeah.
doing it, and then after you blew the motor, you played a little game online there. Guess what I'm gonna do? But talk to me. What ultimately led to the decision to go with the Coyote?
Um, so
Is it a
I
Coyote or is it a
always say
Five
this.
Two?
No, it's a 5.2 Illuminator. So,
Oh, okay.
but
I
we,
thought it was
it's a Coyote variant. So
yeah,
that, like, and it's the argument you get into with people. I let them call it what they want to call it. But I have
yeah.
a 5.2 Illuminator. And to be transparent with you, that's part of the reason why. So I always pride myself in just trying to do something like that everybody else is not doing. That's just me. Nothing wrong with everybody doing just straight Coyote swaps. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't want it, like, when you see my car, I don't want it to look like that person's car or it look like I copy somebody else. Like I pride myself in having my own thought process, and doing what I want to do, regardless of who like it or who don't. And so for me, I was like, I can't just do a Coyote. John, you look, John, I almost got his motor at one point. The only reason I couldn't get it at the time was because was because I was still selling my motor. So I had to, like, I have this thing. I don't believe in debt, and I don't believe in owing nobody nothing. So I was waiting for the sale of that motor to come through, and it did. And then the motor was John was done. John had already got it. So and he had like a different variant of the Coyote because he had the Boss one. So what happened was, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I started thinking about the cost, and I was just like, man, should I do a Gen 2 now? Like, let me look up a Gen 2. And I started to find some Gen 2s. Then I was looking at the limitations of the Gen 2s, and I was like, man, I might be back in the same boat that I was in. Like, just a stock Gen 2, okay? Then I started looking at a 321 setup, and I was like, now, man, the 321 setup can get me here. And then I was looking at the cost. And then I was like, but man, it's still not going to be different. So then one day, man, it's a guy that's in Georgia, and he builds these motors, and he built that and it's got some stuff in it that let's just put it like this, it can handle a lot. I'm gonna just say that. And I reached out to him, man, and I was like, look, I know this thing is up here, and I just rolled the dice. I said, if it's gonna take me 3 years at least, or 3 or 4 years, because I did started calculating how much this stuff was gonna cost me. And I'm like, man, if it take 3 or 4 years to do it, I'm just gonna do it right this time, and I never have to do this again. So I literally took what I had. So I have a car budget. I took what I had, and I called him. He delivered the motor to me, which was a blessing as well. I gave him the money, and then I was like, whatever happens from here is what happens from here. And so, yeah, so that's the 5.2 story. Then I could go into the rest, but
So it
yeah,
wasn't so it's not a Ford Racing 5.2 XS, right? It's a different 5.2.
yeah, no, so it still is a Ford Racer. He just added a couple of extra components, what I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
to a tad bit more reliable. So, the Ford Racing, the Illuminator is good for 1,400 horsepower. Okay,
Yeah, the
uh,
XS.
I was 5 minutes away from sleeving it, but I'm like, man, I'm not going that far. Like, I don't need that much because this is still for me, it's still a street car. And like Carl said, I drive this car a lot. I don't record every time I drive because people swear I don't drive it. I'm like, man, I drive this car a lot, But I'm still an adult with a job, a business that I run on the side, a YouTube channel. What I mean, all this other stuff. I can't. It's not an everyday car at all, but it's
Yeah,
still a
because
car.
if you sleeve it, man, you're looking like a 2,000 horsepower kind of thing right there, doing the
Yeah,
sleeve.
I don't need it. Not
Yeah.
today. I don't. Not ask me in 5 years, but right now I don't need it.
You sure you're not gonna get? You sure you're not gonna get used to it, Ken?
Never. I'm never gonna ever say never. Like I would never say ever. Like I'm dead serious. Like I'm telling you where what the goal for today. And for me, it was like shooting for 800 on a Coyote. That's too easy in my opinion. So the goal had to be higher. And so what happened was, with the 5.2, what it also did was it gave me differentiation as it relates to me approaching sponsors. So when I knew that in order for me to actually do this, like I'm gonna have to get some level of sponsorship to get it done this year. And I will give props to two people. One of them, he never wants me to mention him, so I won't. But a lot of people know him. But the other person is a buddy of mine out here in Georgia. His name is Wade, and he was plugged in with Holley and a few of the other sponsors, and he opened the door for me. And from there, so what people don't know, full time, I've been in marketing and advertising for 20 plus years, and so I know how to pitch. What I mean, to vendors. I just need to get in the door. And I literally right now, I got a 20-page deck on what the KSD Notch is about to be, what we're shooting for, and what people saw. 5.2 Illuminator, 1,000 horsepower, not just the Coyote. Man, people saw that, ate it up, and it opened the door for what I'm trying to do now.
That's pretty good. And the good thing you're getting sponsors because, man, yeah, you're trying to stay out of debt. That's gonna add up real quicker than parts. Nowadays,
Yeah.
parts are freaking expensive.
And to be more transparent, like even all my sponsors, like they not 100%. These parts are not 100% free.
Yeah.
I will say there are a few sponsors where it was, okay, and shout out to them. But a lot of the other stuff, I just get a very, very good rate. Let's just put it like that. A rate that's even unreal at times, like because traditionally, like for example, Holley, man, the deal that Holley gave me, I almost feel like I'm robbing them, but no, this is what they offered me. And so like even the fuel pump that I have, like it's $3,000 just for the fuel pump. It's people out here that don't have $3,000 in their motor. I got it in one part, like the fuel pump. But that's how serious I'm taking. Like this fuel pump is huge, and it's a little bit of overkill, but at the same time, like I told you, overbuild, overkill, so I can plan for the future. So
Are they linking you up with a tuner because you're using their Holley the Holley system to tune it too, right, for the computer as well?
yeah, so I got a Dominator system.
Mhm.
The tuner that I'm going to use though is the tuner that ESS recommends, and he doesn't know it yet, but I saw him when I went to PRI, but Winger Performance. Ken, I haven't reached out to him yet because I ain't even close to that stage of it being even done. But ESS, he's tuned over 500 ESS supercharged cars. And I am going, like I said, I got a Dominator kit, and I'm going to the extreme with this, Ghost Cam tune, all that. We're going to the extreme. And so I'm going to use him. The builder that I deal with, shout out to Kevin at Top Notch Garage, he tunes as well, and he's certified by Holley, and so I'm trying to do a remote tune from his place because the deal that I made with ESS, you got to go with the person that they want you to tune it with.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still stipulations to the things that you can and can't do. So yeah, that's who I'm gonna choose to tune it.
Sean, a lot of the viewers and the listeners that are listening to you talking about sponsorship, I've had a few in the past, but if you want to make yourself a bit more clear that these sponsors that sponsor parts on the vehicle, they expect a certain amount of exposure for their sponsorship. So if you don't mind mentioning to the people that they understand, because a sponsorship is just not somebody handing you something and, hey, have a nice day.
Nothing's
You
free.
get something out of it in return.
Nothing's
Yeah.
nothing's free. So for me to even get this level of sponsorship, I had to show metrics. I had to show numbers. I had to show numbers of the car. I had to show my Instagram numbers. I had to show my YouTube numbers. And I'll be honest with you, Holley, their rules are very, very clear. You get a 1 year deal, and if you don't hit these metrics, have a great life. You know what I mean? Like this is what it is. And so they even track your stuff. Like they're tracking. Okay, are you getting the numbers? Are you getting the engagement? Are we seeing that return? Because that's their whole thing. Like you're bringing awareness to their products, but at the same time, yes, it's nothing is free. Griffin Radiator, for example. So Griffin Radiator, shout out to them. They 100% sponsor the radiator that I have, but the radiator I have is not out. Yeah, it'll come out to next month. So I am trying to put that out to the world as well because it is a new product. They literally have made a Coyote swap radiator that's super huge that still fits in a Foxbody, but it's really specific to Coyote swaps. Now, granted, you can buy whatever radiator you want and make it work, but they literally built this with the fans as well to work for Coyote swap projects, and they're going to be releasing that through Summit in June. And so, yes, there are obligations to each sponsor that you have to fulfill. And so, no, it's not free, you all. And to be even more transparent, I mean, I've been building this thing for years, not the car, but the channel, the brand, all of this. Like people know me, yeah, that you hear me say do, but that it's a reason for that. Like this is marketing and advertising every time. Like when you hear that, you know exactly who you're talking about or who people are talking about. So I'm trying to bring sponsors that have not traditionally been in the Foxbody community. Let's just be real. When have you seen some of these sponsors that I'm speaking of in the Fox community? That we haven't, and so I'm trying to expose them to a different side because they're big on some of the other sides of the world, the GM sides of the world, even some of the import side. But I'm trying to show them, this community needs that love as well, and it is a whole target audience that you all are missing. And
It's a
so
big community.
that.
It's a big community.
Yeah,
Fox Buddy.
it's a big community, but when you don't know, you just don't know because when you're this big corporation, you see what you see. Like the S550 community is huge, but the S550 community don't have their own shows. Like we just got Mustang Week. That's not an S550 show.
Yeah.
There is only one outside of what Jen just started with the SN City. There is only one Mustang that has its own show. What Mustang is that, y'all?
Shit.
Foxtoberfest.
Oh,
That's
Fox.
right.
Yeah.
Name another Mustang that has its own show throughout the year. That's not a combined Mustangs.
I
Name
think
another.
I think more people are getting into it because they're starting to see the community blow up. So I think more and more people are going to start trying to jump in. They're not involved with Fox Bodies. I think they're going to start trying to get involved with Fox Bodies just because they're
No,
seeing how big this community is going.
I mean, and that's great, but there's no other generation of Mustang that has their own show. Like it's
No.
everything else that we go to is combined.
It's Ford. It's
The
Mustang.
reason
Yeah.
why Foxtoberfest is what it is because of the people, the promotion of the event, the people that partake in it. But it's also I've been to Foxtoberfest when it was like 250 cars, and now to see it close to 1,000, that's amazing. But it also talks about there is no other generation. That's why I said we are a part of something special. Do I feel like SNs or fourth gen Mustangs will be the next thing? I do believe that. But also, and no offense to you, the SN guys, 'cause I know y'all got some. I don't think they're gonna fast Fox bodies though. I don't think they're gonna supersede the Fox body. I think they will have their own shine, their own attention. But let's just be real. Third gen Mustangs are the ones that literally started all this and have their own shows. And 79 to 04. I mean, 79 to 93, 78 and a half to 93, depending on what we're talking about. I mean, that's a long time for a production. So, just like I said, bringing those sponsors to these type of events for me and giving them that exposure and just showing them how big this community is because they watch my stuff. That's another thing about just, having an impact on the community. Like, and people don't even know that that's what's happening behind the scenes. So,
I mean, look, at the
that's,
end of
that's,
the
that's
day, as a business owner, and I think you mentioned that you run and operate a business too, Ken, correct?
absolutely.
I mean, we all have
So,
we all have marketing budgets, right? So, and we all have
yeah,
different media channels in which we choose to operate, right? So, you look at like a Holley, they may do some digital marketing, they may do some social, but they're also looking for, and I know you don't like to use the term, but influencers, right, with a large audience, right? So,
that's fine.
it-
That's
they're,
fine.
okay, their take. Some people don't like the term influencer,
No,
but
I know it's fine with me because I know that's part of what I am. Like you're influencing the community, and then people like that, and then they want to buy the stuff. So I get that 100.
yeah,
percent
yeah.
So,
So it's a wise investment, right? Give away parts
yep.
or at a deep discount, and if we give away a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s worth of parts, and Ken's got 40, 50,000 eyeballs on it, it's worth it. Obviously, we all have, like I said, marketing is an investment. They chose to invest in you for a return, right? Which is why there's some expectation,
Yeah,
right?
I can tell you right now, even with Holly, I got a little bit over. If I'm not mistaken, I got to check it again, but I'm close to about 400,000 impressions just with Holly already. So
Yeah.
technically, I've already reached the goal, and I got a whole lot more. And my thing is, I want to continue the partnership even after this car is done. So I got a whole lot more videos I got to do for them, and I'm debuting the car at their event. So that's kind of like that's big for me too because I've never been to Ford Fest. I've never been to Holly Ford Fest ever, and so
And where's it at?
Kentucky.
Turkey, no.
Yeah, it'll be in
Bowling
Kentucky.
Green.
So Bowling Green, October 2nd through 3rd. So it's like in the month of October, it's two events. Obviously, you got that and you got Foxtoberfest. So, October is going to be a very busy month for me, But at the same time, like you said, it's, man, just bringing that light of other vendors coming into this community because let's just be real. Like, what is happening now? Now more people are making parts. I mean, 5 years ago, not saying it wasn't one out there, but like you all got those, those roaster chassis frames, like both of y'all, But 5 years
No,
ago, where was that at?
I'm trying to sell mine. So if anybody wants one, they don't want to wait 9 to 12 months.
Yeah, for
Contact me.
sure.
Figured I'd put that out there.
You have for the grand price of 33,000. That's how much it is, right? 33,000.
Yeah, listen, you call Roast Shop 9 to 12 months. I got it here in stock, ready to ship. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Ken. Sorry, I had to get that out
So,
there.
so so like the piggyback off of what Carl said, yeah. So for anybody that's doing this, like, it's not just, oh, will you sponsor me? Like some people will, but it may be the smaller companies.
You got to
You
go
got
in
to
with a
have
marketing
something.
plan. You got to go in with a marketing plan. You got to give a
Yeah,
pitch, like you said. You have to show them if you invest this much money in me, here's the potential return. Right? That's just
absolutely.
marketing 101. That's owning and operating a business. So that's why when we go back to what you said, it's like nothing is free. No, you either hit a certain metric for them, or they just choose they're never going to do business with you again. That's it. Right?
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
There's an expectation. So it was a good question, Carl, because I think some people they don't realize that you
Well,
know
it's a gray area because when they hear sponsorship, because I get people all the time, influencers, so to speak, come here to the shop. They want me to sponsor them on my services. I'm like, I one guy was a fitness. He had a fitness channel or something. Wanted me to do his Range Rover for shout outs. I'm like, what the, like, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah.
So when I was approached, or when I approached a couple of vendors for sponsorships, it wasn't it wasn't the full amount either. It was like a partial sponsorship, which is respectable because I explained to them I wouldn't be able to attend as many events as they wanted me to get a full sponsorship. So a partial sponsorship was in the cards for me. So, they require you to do certain things, that they want. So everybody thinks because they have 100,000 followers that everyone should just, I'm going to get a sponsorship. It doesn't really work that way.
I think
Yeah.
most sponsorships typically are usually it's pretty much like a discounted price. Like everybody thinks they're free parts, but usually, like Ken said earlier, it's kind of you still got to pay a little something because it's not always free.
You know what it is?
Well,
These vendors, they look at your, let's say you give them your Instagram page, right? They look at your followers. They
Yeah.
want to see if people viewing your page are going to be a potential customer.
They're
So
looking
if
for
you got,
eyeballs. Yeah, they're
yeah,
looking for eyeballs. Yeah.
if you got some little young man or young lady that has a social media platform, and it's a bunch of, you know, the broccoli head kids that do burnouts and stuff, you don't want
Yeah.
that type of that's not their customer.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
not their
saying?
target
Yeah.
audience.
Right. So
I recently just picked up a new sponsor. Luckily, QA1 sponsored me, so they sent me some stuff. So I got to do some videos and stuff on that too. So yeah, Kenneth, I know the obligations you got to do.
Yeah,
But
and
they
I'll
hooked
say
up.
this.
It wasn't the free spot. They just gave me a really good price, and I was like, man, I can't turn that down. I'll do it. I need some new stuff anyway, so working
Let me
out
say
pretty
this
good.
too. One of the things about sponsorships, and I'll make it this quick. Shout out to like Classic LEDs, Fiddle Far Fab.
Hmm.
Before I got these big sponsors, like those guys, reached out to me, and this was before even Fiddle Far was who he is now. And man, he started sending me stuff, and man, I made videos for it, and man, he will tell you to this day, hey, I'm one of the go-tos for him because between I would say myself, Notch World Order,
Notch
like we
World.
really like promoted him like in a serious way, to where now he has the presence that he has, and him and I have had some very in-depth conversations, and anytime he would send me something, I will put it on the card. He got new stuff coming out that I'm gonna put on my card. But what I'm saying is, even with him, there was a trade-off. Like it was a trade-off. He was small, and I had the influence, and so like I said, John, you don't hurt me by calling me an influence. I get it, and putting this stuff out here, that's the one thing that I have that a lot of people don't. I have a channel and a popular car. So I just merged the two together, you know what I mean, to get you the views that you need, like that's the thing. Like I have, some people just have one or the other. Some people will have a popular channel, but the car is not popular. Or some people have a popular car, but they don't have a YouTube presence or anything of that nature. So I'm one of the few that have both, and that's the thing that I can offer that a lot of people can't. So even in marketing, you have to understand what is it that you can offer that somebody else can't, or what is it that makes your stuff different than anybody else. So you got to understand that's the mindset that I take even with building this car. So
Yeah.
yeah, it all
So,
comes together.
but to be fair, people need to understand you earned this, right? You've spent
Oh yeah.
thousands of hours, years in the community
Yeah,
producing.
you've been in this game for how long already, Kenneth? How long you been in
And
this game?
yeah, but you've been doing that for years to earn that audience that you have, right? So
Yeah.
again, nothing is free, right?
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
they need to understand that, yeah. And you,
Yeah. I've been on
so you,
YouTube.
good. Sorry, Ken.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you mentioned lots of new cool parts that are coming out, and you
Yeah.
specifically mentioned the Griffin radiator for the Coyote swap. Are
Yes,
there
sir.
any other new cool things that are going to be on KSD Notch that we're not aware of besides that radiator? You got any other stuff coming
Yeah.
out? Come on, man, give it to
Yeah,
our
man.
audience.
I mean, we can, I can BS you for the next 20 minutes, or I can get straight to the point. And I know what this question is. So let's get to it. So I sold the Billet Specialty wheels about 2 months ago, and I really, really want to like I blame it on Tom Clark, right? I went to PRI, and I'm gonna get to what this part is. I went to PRI in December of last year, and Tom knew what I was doing with the car because I was talking to him about some stuff in Motor City. And I'm literally trying to walk away from him, and he was like, "So yeah, man, so you gonna change the wheels?" I was like, "Cause you gotta understand, at this time I didn't think I was mini tub." I'm like, "Why would I change the wheels?" He was like, "So you're gonna do all this to keep the same wheels?" He was like, "Trust me, you're gonna change the wheels." I was like, "Tom, get out of here, man. Good seeing you, bro." I literally messaged him last week and said, "It's all your fault," and he's cracking up, because what he said is true. Well, so I would say this, yeah, the wheels are gone. I sold those, and you gotta understand that is my sixth set of wheels. Six, yeah, I think that's 5 or 6. Yeah, I've been through a lot of wheels. Like this is not. So for me, anytime I'm gonna change this whole thing up, that's everything. The only thing that probably won't change on the KSD Notch is the color. Outside of that, anything can be changed, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Anything. There is nothing on that car that cannot be changed outside of it being a black coupe. Because for you all that don't know, in '93, black on black coupes, if I'm not mistaken, I think the number is 777. '93 black on black coupes with full black interior, full electric everything with a defrosted glass, even though I took it out. It was 777. You gotta understand, even in '93, it wasn't that many coupes made, period. Because coupes weren't the popular thing. So for me, when I made the decision to change the wheels, so I can give you all this. It is an 18.8 in the front, like it was before, and it's going to be a 19.12 in the rear. with a 4 1/4 backspace.
You
So
mini
the
tub.
lift, yeah. So we mini tubbed the car, notched the frame, and I could just tell you. And look, I'll give this away. So for you all that not necessarily a fan of the gold wheels, and for you all that actually were, like I probably had more people that were than weren't. But for you all that don't like them, or if you do like, it really don't matter. They won't be going back on the car. You know what I mean? So, that was my choice, because it ran its course. I didn't want to do this and then go back to what I had before. So it ran their course, and I'm happy for it. It was one of the best decisions I made because those wheels
Some,
put me on the map.
someone else owns them now.
Yeah. It's actually
I haven't seen him yet. Did you send him to a guy who has like a pretty good presence? Because I haven't seen him pop up on Instagram or anything.
he's local actually, but he has this guy is I can just say it like this. He already had a white Foxbody. He had a white 85 with gold wheels on. And he has a few Foxbodies. And I'll be honest with you, this man, he had met me at my job, and I won't say his name, but if he watches this, he know who he is. He showed up to my job, man, in a brand new Denali 3500. I was like, oh yeah, he buying these wheels, because you know how people are. They want, look at them, let me go, let me just see. Oh, it's got a little nick here all the time. Man, when he pulled up in that 3500, I was like, oh, I ain't worried about him. And then it wasn't no negotiation. It was, so you want all cash? And this man, I was like, whoa, no. Well, put that cash back in your pocket, sir. I don't like carrying that level of cash on me. You can sell me this amount, and I'll take the rest of cash. So, and that's what we did. So, yeah, they've been gone for about, I would say over 2.5 months now. They've been gone, and right when I did that, I ordered the new ones. The new ones should be here. Man, I think 3 weeks now. It was an 8-week order, and so it should be 3 weeks. The middle
Do you
of
want
June
to
is
do you want to do you want to tell us who the vendor is? Do you want to no? Do you want to tell us? Do you want to give us a preview on the color? No,
Nope.
just
No.
not gold centers.
Man, nope.
Okay. Oh, that's no.
Because
I'm not telling you, or no, that's
Great,
not.
dude. I already know what the wheels are. They're the new SVEs. I saw them already. The new SVEs coming.
Hey man,
The 10th anniversary.
Bro, that's an
Hey,
insult.
man, can you mute me? You got to put him on. I know you did not just say SVE on my car. Stop. No,
So
no offense to anybody that's got SVE wheels, but not on my car, bro. Don't do that.
so
Don't.
so everything about the car could change, except the black paint.
Correct.
What about your interior there, Ken?
Yeah, so great question. I have a new set of seats. The only problem is, I have a buddy that's in Illinois, Harris Auto Upholstery. He's the one that's doing all of the upholstery work, and he's building out my trunk for me as well. And so I gotta use the stuff that I had last year until I can get to him. So like this thing is gonna be done in phases. So it's kind of like when you all see me at Foxtoberfest or Ford Fest, I got the same interior I had in there from last year, which is the tan. Those seats are a little bit more orange than they are tan, which is why I started not to like them. I did not want an orange seat. They advertise it as British tan leatherette, but they're actually like in real person, like they're like a little orangey, and I didn't like it. And so I'm actually going with a tan and black seat next, and I'm
Nice.
matching the back seat to go with it. But you won't see that this year. That'll be more 2027, because after this year. So the goal was build it and then go to these 2 shows. But the goal is in 2027, I'm going on tour with this car like never before. Like I'm going to every event, because this is going to be the last round of me going to every event. After 2027 is my last year of making every event with the car. After that, I'm still going to come to events, but I'm not going to every event. I'm tired. Like I'll be 45. I'm tired. Like for real. So, but yeah, I can just say it like this. For the people that don't necessarily like the gold wheels, if you don't like these, it's just you just probably just got an issue with me at this point. Like, no, I'm being serious. Just to be fair, it's still not a traditional Foxbody wheel. I want to make that clear. It's not that. But at the same time, if you have an issue with these, then just be honest. You just don't like who the owner is, and that's okay too. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
that's what it is.
I like the untraditional wheels. Honestly, it makes the Fox body just look different when people try a whole different set of wheels. You're like thinking outside the box. I'm like, man, I love seeing those crazy wheels.
So you may have mentioned drivetrain, Ken. You're going with the 5.2 Illuminator. Are you going NA or are you boosting?
Oh no, so that's what I was. So part of what I said earlier, ESS. So I have a ESS supercharger. For you all that don't know, in the S550 community, ESS and ProCharger are like right here. And what
Yeah.
happened was ESS took over about 7 years ago. And they came in, and you can have a Pro. I've seen guys take their ProChargers off of S550s, put an ESS on it, and shoot a Gen 3 to 950 horsepower stock. Like I want y'all. I'm looking at the camera so y'all, because maybe y'all didn't hear me. I've seen 5.2s stock on an ESS supercharger making 950 horsepower. If you don't believe me, it is on YouTube. Look up Ears POV. He has a 5.2, not even an illuminator. He just got the 5.2 Voodoo, which are known for blowing up. And he got an ESS on there making 950 on E85 stock.
What do you have right now? Then what is like a G3X or something, or
Oh, who me? I got the G3R.
a G3R? Oh, yeah, that's the big boy right there.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say that it looked like a daggone generator. Like when they
Yeah,
sent it to me, I was like, "Well, dang, where the heck on?" Like literally, the G3R looks just like this, y'all. Like, forgive me, but it's like
yeah,
that's
it's
what it
massive.
that's how big it is. I was like, "Dang!" So when I took it to when I took it to get powder coated, those guys thought it was a turbo. I was like, "Nah, this is a supercharger, bro. Like this is a supercharger." So
So I
yeah,
was I
I'm
was a little
using.
confused. The last I heard you speak about it, you were saying you were going NA. You were going NA. You would stay in NA for a little while. So some had changed.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole lot of things changed, John, since the last time I said a lot of stuff that changed. Like
Here we
I don't even
go.
trust that. I don't even trust myself with what I say. But I'm gonna be
Breaking
honest with you.
news.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, so the reason why I said I was gonna stay in A because of my budget.
Yep.
I literally something said reach out to ESS. Pro Charger wouldn't work with me after, and they told me they would after I did a video with them in Mustang Week. So then when it was the time to return the favor, they wouldn't work with me. I talked with them at PRI, they wouldn't work with me. So some said, you know what, reach out to ESS and see what happens. I literally this is the only people I did this to. I literally did a cold email, like a cold, like, you know, I do cold calls. I did a cold email to their sales department. And somebody responded. To this day, I don't even know who the person is. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, he never even said his name. Responded. Sent him the deck. He was like, hey man, this is pretty cool. Now, the way he's talking to me, I'm thinking like he's not really taking interest. He was like, yeah, it's cool. So then he was like, all right, cool. And I was like, all right. So then he was like, all right, cool. We're gonna give it to you for 80. I was like, 80? The heck you talking about? Like 80. He was like, yeah, 80.
80% off.
I'm like,
Take my money.
that thing was here in 5 days. I was like, I didn't ask no question. I got that thing, and here's the thing: they shipped me the wrong one because I wanted a black one. They shipped me the satin one, and I was like, nah, I needed black, so I had to ship that one back. And then they ended up shipping me the black one, and then I took the cover off the black one, and then got it powder coated the gold like everything else. So, yeah, man, we going with the G3R ESS supercharger, man. And they told me they couldn't even send me a full kit because they said, hey, what you have, you gonna need more than what we can even offer. Like even the air-to-air intercooler, they was like, what we have ain't gonna work for what you trying to do. So you gonna have to get your own. So I'm gonna have to get the piping and all that stuff built for that, you know, because they couldn't. Their kits are specific for S550s. So when they sell it to you, it's a S550 scenario, and it literally runs through all of the areas where the S550 works.
Yeah.
But they were saying before the numbers I was going for, they don't have an air-to-air intercooler that would work for what I have.
So what transmission you going with, Ken? You doing you staying you going auto? You staying stick? What are you doing?
Absolutely not, and no offense to anybody that does auto, but it's three-pedal pippin over here. You know, I just got the FFP kit, you know, for the car. You know, I'm going like my man clapped out over here. I got the FFP kit in the car as well, and you know, that's
Mario
what's going to
too.
go in there. And let me tell you something. Like I'm like, shout out to Ryan at FFP. But I ordered the kit, right? It comes to the door, and the next thing I see, Ryan has a piece now that can go flush to the firewall, and you don't even have to have that block on the other side of the bay anymore. But the firewall was, that's one of the things you're doing when you're in paint and body. So for you all that don't know, the FFP kit, I removed all hydro boosts, all that stuff. None of that is in there. But it's just literally this black plate that sits on the firewall. He now sells just a metal plate that you can weld into the firewall, smooth it out, and it's nothing there anymore. And it literally, like, once I got it, I was like, but I'm not going back. Nope. What I got is what I got. I cannot afford to go back and do that iteration. But yeah, man, I got that kit. So, and it's gonna be T56 Magnum. Because I mean, outside of that, what else can I do outside of T56 Magnum? Like, what else is there? You know, it's T56 Magnum, man. And to be transparent, the T56 Magnum was great to me in that I beat the crap out of that thing, and it always worked. Never had an issue with it. I done messed up some transmissions in white, but that T56 Magnum, I mean, and obviously this is a heavy horsepower, but I'm gonna be realistic with you all. I'm not gonna have 1,000 horsepower all day, every day. I'm gonna have a button to turn it on, but I'm not gonna have it all day, every day. For the street, you know, obviously I'll be a little bit more conservative. I want more than what I had in the Terminator, but it won't be 1,000 all the time. But when I need to, boop, go in that Holley. Excuse me, y'all. Hold on. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boom. Yeah, there you go.
Is it going to be a flex fuel system or no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I already have the. So a couple things that's not changing. I had a flex fuel sensor in the what I had before, so I was able to, you know, I could put 93 in it at any point and E85, you know, because it picked up, it would read it, and then, you know, I had the Terminator X before, you know, it'll just adjust, so I can literally, I don't have to drain all the gas. Like the flex fuel sensor allows for that. So, and that was part of the reason why a lot of people was like, man, you need to go 4 race control pack, 4 race control pack, 4 race control pack, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that was one of the reasons. Like, I know it's minor, but that was one of the main reasons why I didn't want to go with the control pack, because the way that theirs work, they do it off the O2, and it don't work the same as it does when it's reading through the fuel line. So, and the other issue is that because of what I'm trying to do with the cams and having that chop, you can't do it with a Terminator X. Yeah. You can't do it with a Terminator X Max, because this is just how it works. You know, the Dominator is the only system that will allow you to do that ghost cam tune on that actual motor. And the Dominator itself, the computer costs more than the Terminator X. You know, and then you have to get all the parts for the Dominator individually. So my Dominator setup is $6,500 just by itself.
That's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what brakes? You keeping the old? I mean, what are you doing for brakes? What are you doing?
You both your brakes for sale, right? So, what are you going with, Bear? I guess because it's Holley, and Holley owns Bear.
Hey Lee, man, you give away all my secrets, man. Hey, put this man on mute, man. Guys,
Uh-oh.
Hey,
He said everything. He said before we started, he said everything was on the table except the wheels. He said you could ask me the wheels.
Yeah.
So now we're asking questions, and he's like, "Damn, I forgot
you didn't say anything about the brake."
Yeah.
Any question is fine. Lee just giving away all my secrets, but no, yeah, you're right. Man, full transparency, I actually had I had a deal with Wheelwood as well for the second time around. I had a deal with Wheelwood, but I'm just gonna be transparent with you all. I was talking to Wheelwood and Bear at the same time, and literally, Bear cost more, and the numbers, I was like, oh yeah, never mind, thank you all. You know, I already had the Wheelwoods, and man, Bear just, I mean, they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, man. I'm just like, yo, forget it.
80.
And so
80. He's smiling. Look, that's the number, 80.
Next thing I know, I get a there go cease and desist letter because I came on the podcast. One of the things I had them do was one of the things I loved about Bear was they powder coated the calipers the gold as well, and that was the thing.
They have a nice color palette selection, whereas Willwood only gives you I think 3 basic colors, right?
So what is it, like a 6P kit? Is it that's what they have, like a 6P?
Absolutely, that's the only P that I mess with. Paul. So anyway, I got 6 pistons. I got 14 now. You know, I went a little. I was debating because I was like, do I want to put a drag setup on here? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Vinny really inspires me, as it relates to putting a drag setup on a Fox body. And then I had to look at myself, you ever gonna go on the track with this? Nope. So forget all that. So I got 14 inches in the rear as well, So I got a six piston rear with 14
Yeah, that's
inches.
a massive.
Yeah, I got a six piston 14-inch rear and I got a six piston 14-inch in the front. Because with that 19, one of the things that people used to say to me all the time, because I think my wheel was set up was like 11.65 rotor or whatever. But with a 19, man, it really makes it look like it's a 10. Like, it really makes it look small when you got a 19-inch wheel with spokes because it's so open. So it really makes, and like people say all the time, why you put those small brakes in the rear? I'm
Well,
like, this
keep
is
in mind too,
almost a
Sean.
full engine.
A lot of people when they build the car, shooting for high horsepower, the brakes are one of the things they particularly lack putting money into. You know,
Yeah, and
it's a
and to
shame
me, I
that.
feel like
Yeah,
brace and suspension before you go fast, because all that fast stuff ain't gonna do nothing if your car can't handle it, or if your car is, you still
can't
on
stop.
you still on stock spring, like you still on stock, you still got those struts in the rear. It's been so long, I forgot what they
Quad
call
shocks.
quad shocks. Yeah, you still got quad shocks in the rear. Like man, if you got 600 horsepower with quad shocks, I'm questioning you. Like seriously, like if you got 600 with quad shocks, I would not knocking anybody, but I'm like, hey, be careful. That's all I got to say. Be careful. That's it. I don't
So
want to be around you if you want to nail it. I don't want to be around you. Okay.
so a little segment that we do before we're an hour and 6 minutes in, Ken. So we're going to start asking our guests there to pick their favorite car in the community, and you nominated. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see it. You nominated this guy right here. Tell us about this car. Tell us about this man who owns this car, and tell us about this car. Why is it your favorite, Ken?
Yeah. So it's a 1992 Bimini Blue notchback with a 347 with a Vortec on it, I believe. It has a built transmission, built rear end, mini tub, BC forged wheels. He has a Vortec intake, one of the only Vortec intakes that you would probably ever see on the car. He has custom Recaro seats. I'm talking about his car like it's not off the top of my head, like this is amazing. And one of the reasons why this is like for me, Mario, it has always set the standard, in my opinion, as it relates to high level builds. And Mario has set the standard for high level builds before Instagram was even popular. Like Mario's car has been popular forever. Like he's been like, in my opinion, he still wins stuff, but if he never won anything else, this car is legendary. Like, but he still keeps this thing modern. I've seen him. A lot of people don't even remember. I've known Mario for about 10 years. We used to go to the car shows together when he had 800 horsepower, and I was sitting on the stock block. Like I didn't like being next to him. And I had black SVE wheels. Lee. That was back in the day. That was one of the iterations.
I've heard that video. I've
I
seen
knew
that
you,
video.
knew you touched the nerve there. Go
I
ahead.
want to make that clear for Lee. But yeah, I would say he's always set a standard, and a lot of the originality and the creativity behind that car. But the other reason is it's one of my favorite cars too. A, I've been in it. B, I think I drove it one time. I think I just backed it up. Nothing crazy. I didn't do the deal, but it was just cool. But the other reason I like the car, the cars are cool, but the people are cooler. And you can tend to like something better when you like the person even better. And Mario is one of my closest friends, not in the Foxbody community in life. And so even before we were as tight as we are now, his car was my favorite then. When I had a stock block, his car was my favorite outside of my own car. And so, yeah, I always nominate him. And then, I'm going to say this, John. I know you said only one, but my second favorite car is that clapped out coupe that's coming out this year. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So so look, Mario, iconic car, probably one of the nicest. I mean, definitely one of the nicest coupes out there. Love his plate, by the way, wifey paid. That's fucking awesome. It just complements the whole thing. So we've asked Carl and Lee here to just share their favorite cars or pick a car that they enjoy. So right here, here's the second car here. Who nominated Mr. Brandon Hitchens' coupe here?
I did.
Tell us about the car. What do you like about it, Carl?
Dude, obviously we saw the car prior to him owning the car by Bipolar Performance, and that guy Joe, I believe, sold the car. It went elsewhere. It disappeared for a little while. Brandon wound up with the car, and his fresh retake on this build. I mean, the wired tuck, i.e., the smooth firewall, like Sean's getting done on his car. You don't see anything at all on the firewall. He did something like you were talking about, Sean, with the brakes, where you don't see a master cylinder, a plate, nothing on the firewall. He did the vintage air conditioning coming out the A pillar on one side. It just, the tastefulness and the cleanliness of the actual build, is spot on. I attribute that to his OCD on bringing all the attention to detail on that car, underneath the hood, inside the car. Everything just screams top-notch quality, attention to detail. And you know what's funny? A guy like this has an operation, but respectfully, that's a high-dollar build right there. You can't expect to have like a low budget in mind when you want quality like that. I mean, that car just screams, excellence, so to speak.
And for those of you that don't know, Brandon owns a company called Sick Motorsports. He builds cars for people within the community. So if you're looking for a beautiful build, check him out. He's a good guy, great person.
And he's an awesome person, which actually his personality is pretty infectious. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. And Lee, you nominated your buddy here. Is it Diego?
Yeah, Diego Foxstang.
Mm-hmm. Fox. What is it? Foxstang? Foxstang?
Foxstang. It's Fox_Stang. That's like his little, kind of like his little Instagram handle, his little group he has. Because he actually doesn't. I live in San Antonio and he lives in Corpus, which is like 2 hours away from me. But that's kind of like his little group down there. But man, his car to me, man, that's a beautiful car. One, the color, it's the Viper blue. I can't remember the exact name of it. The second thing is the wheels. To me, those wheels are freaking, because it's a different thing. I've gotten, a lot of people actually give them shit for those wheels because they say it looks stupid. But to me, those wheels are like exactly what I like seeing on cars. Something different that you don't see on other cars. And also another thing, this thing is carbon fibered out to the max. As you can see right here in the firewall, it's all carbon fiber. Like his mirrors, his doors, the mirror trim, all the trim around the windows, the interior, the dash, the whole dash panel, the handles, the doors, all carbon fiber. That's why, and man, also too, cool freaking dude.
Yeah.
You talk to this guy, man, cool as hell is this guy. He's also a tall ass dude, so even when I talk to him, I'm like looking up to him and shit. And but cool freaking dude, beautiful car. He loves the culture, loves hanging out. He loves shooting the breeze, man. And you give him a shot of whiskey, he ain't gonna turn it down.
So, yeah, man. So, Kenneth, anything you want to share with the people watching here before we wrap this up?
Man, hey, you all, I just want to say I'm just grateful to the community. That's all. Like, thank you for the people that, have supported me throughout these years. I do want to say something publicly, though. You brought up something, and I want to, like, say that, you started talking about how I have transitioned, as it relates to certain things. I'll be honest, I've kind of transitioned as it relates to a lot. I have, in 2025, I stopped being overcritical of certain things. There are actually a few things I regret ever doing as it relates to certain videos. I got a video on YouTube that's called the top 10 things you should do to a Foxbody. And my stance is now, like, man, I don't have the say-so to tell anybody what they should do about anything. Was it entertaining at the time? Yes. Did it give me a lot of views? Yes. But as a more mature person than I was 6 years ago when I made that video, I'm not. That's not my stance anymore. To the extent like even people that LS swap their cars, as much as like a lot of people in the community hate it. I think what happened for me was when I met Mason Brooks, which is John Brooks' son. Man, I have to say, dude, I need to just shut up about this stuff because I'm looking at this thing and it's amazing. I met this dude in Texas who got a red notchback LS swap, and it was like one of the baddest Fox bodies I saw at Mustang Week, Texas. But it was LS swap. And so for me, man, I just want to say thank you to the community for support. And I apologize to the community for some of my previous views on some of this stuff because that's not my view anymore. Go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry.
How's that, Carl? Say it, Carl.
You know what? I'm gonna order you a set of one-piece headlights. How you like that?
That's an excellent way to end the show. Oh, hold on a second, Carl. I did something on the episode. Hold on. What you talking about? One piece headlights. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody. Ken, thank you for coming on, man. It's always entertaining. Always enjoy you, man. I consider you a friend. Look forward to seeing you this year. Looking forward to seeing your car. For everybody, Carl, Lee, thank you. Everybody that watches this episode, please do the thing, like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, everybody. All right, Ken,
Good night,
nobody,
fellas.
don't leave yet. All right.